Welcome to another Math with Miss B video. In this video, we will be reviewing the order of operations and learning that the order really does matter when it comes to solving our math. So first, what is the order of operations? McGraw-Hill defines the order of operations as the rules to follow when one or more operation is used in a numerical expression. You might have heard this as PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or seen the hopscotch method as a way to keep the operations in order. So what are the actual rules? The first is to solve what is inside parentheses or any other grouping method, brackets, braces, numerators versus denominators. Next is to deal with any numbers that have exponents. Third is to solve multiplication or division from the left to the right. So a lot of people have gotten confused over the years and they solve all multiplication first and then all division. The order does matter. So it's multiplication or division from left to right, whichever one you see first. And finally, solve addition or subtraction from left to right. The same rule as multiplication or division. So we're going to work a number of examples just to see how the order of operation actually is used. Okay, so let's just jump right in with our first example. We have 7 minus 24 divided by 8 times 4 plus 6. Okay, our first two steps, parentheses and exponents, are not seen in this equation, so we would go on to multiplication or division. Okay, now it's or from left to right. So we need to start at the left and solve the multiplication or division as we come to them. And the first thing we see is division. So we say 24 divided by 8, which leaves us with 3. 7 minus, and we bring down all of our remaining numbers. Okay, we still have a multiplication. We will solve that next. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down your remaining numbers and operators. Okay, now addition or subtraction from left to right. We see the subtraction first, so we will use it first. 7 minus 12, we can do that, but it deals with negatives. It's easier if we turn this into adding the opposite or your additive inverse, so plus negative. So 7 plus negative 12. My integers rules say different signs subtract. 7 minus 12 is 5. I have more negatives, so I'm going to keep the negative. Okay, we're adding. Different signs tell me to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. I have more positives, so my final answer is positive 1. Okay, let's look at our next example. We have 7 plus parentheses 6 times 5 squared plus 3. Okay, order of operations, say parentheses first. When we have more than one operation inside of the parentheses, we follow our order of operations. So exponents would come before multiplication. So 5 squared is 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. Bring down all your remaining numbers and operations. So 6 times 25 is 150. $150 plus 3 is 153. Now that I've solved everything inside of the parentheses, I'm going to drop them. 7 plus 153 is 160. Okay, next example. As you can see, they're growing in complexity. So we have negative 2 parentheses 1 times 4 minus 2 divided by 2 plus parentheses 6 plus 2 minus 3. Okay, we solve everything inside of our parentheses first. Multiplication and division come before subtraction, so we're going to solve left to right. Okay, 2 parentheses, 1 times 4 is 4, minus 2, divided by 2, plus parentheses 6 plus 2 minus 3. Okay. Division comes before subtraction. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 4 minus 1, negative 2, plus 6 plus 2 minus 3. Okay, 4 minus 1 is 3, so we have negative 2. I'm dropping my parentheses times 3, because when we see a number with a parentheses, that means multiplication, plus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start solving here. 6 plus 2 is 8, minus 3, negative 2 times 3, plus 8 minus 3 is 5. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 5. Different signs tell me to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. I have more negatives, so this will be a negative 1. Okay, let's clear this and look at our next set of examples. So the first one, we have two sets of parentheses. 3 times 5 squared divided by 15 minus 5 minus 2 squared. So I'm going to show you a trick. When you have multiple sets of parentheses, you can work on solving them simultaneously. So solve one step at a time from each parentheses. So x components can be 4, multiplication or division. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. 3 times divided by 15 minus exponents come before subtraction. So 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, multiplication before division. It's listed first from left to right. So 3 times 25 is 75. Divided by 15 minus 5 minus 4 is 1. Dropping the parentheses as if I only have one number. 75 divided by 15 is 5 minus 1. Whoops, I got ahead of myself. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, next example, one set of parentheses. We'll start there. We have multiplication, exponents, and addition. Exponents come first, so 5 squared is 25 times 6 plus 3, 7 plus. Okay, 6 times 5 is 150. I think we've already done this one. That's okay, we can do it again. 150 plus 3 is 153, plus 7 is 160. Last example. So in this case, we have parentheses and what are called brackets. So when we have two sets of grouping methods, we start with the one on the inside. So the brackets are outside of the parentheses, so we'll go to the parentheses first. So we have subtraction and multiplication. Multiplication comes before subtraction. So we have 3 minus 4 times 7 is 28. Bring down my negative 1 and my times, my bracket, parentheses, division sign 5, another bracket, minus 2 times 24 divided by 6. Okay, we're still inside the parentheses. 3 minus 28. We're going to use the additive inverse, so plus and negative. So 3 plus negative 28, different signs tell me to subtract. I get a 25. I have more negatives because there's 28 of them. This is the only thing remaining in these parentheses, so I'm going to get rid of them. Bring down my brackets and the rest of my problem. Okay, brackets are a type of grouping, so we're going to solve those. Negative 25 divided by 5. Well, 25 divided by 5 is 5, and negative divided by a positive is a negative. I'm going to drop my brackets because I don't need them. Negative 1 times negative 5. Minus 2 times 24 divided by 6. Okay, we're on to solving from left to right. So multiplication, subtraction, multiplication, division. So we're going to solve left to right, multiplication and division. So -1 times -5 is 5, minus 2 times 24 divided by 6. Okay, 2 times 24 is 48. 5 minus 48 divided by 6. 48 divided by 6 is 8. 5 minus 8. We're going to use the additive inverse and change this to plus and negative. So 5 plus -8. Different signs tell me to subtract. That leaves me with 3. I have more negatives, so this is -3. Thank you for joining me with this Math with Miss V video. I hope it has helped you out.